All I can say is if these claims are at all true, this has been one big clusterfuck just waiting to happen. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm back with another video, and if you've been following along recently the events surrounding Activision Blizzard, you know they are not only facing allegations of a toxic work environment, but also an impending lawsuit. Now, according to ScreenRant.com, Activision Blizzard CEO addresses lawsuit, agrees to outside audit, and changes. So I will go into this article, as well as the response the organizers of a planned walkout gave to the email Robert Kotick sent out. So without further ado, let's dive into this, shall we? Okay, an editor's note. A lawsuit has been filed against Activision Blizzard by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which alleges the company has engaged in abuse, discrimination, and retaliation against its female employees. Activision Blizzard has denied the allegation, and the full details of the Activision Blizzard lawsuit are being updated as new information becomes available. So I will post the link to this article in the description, so if you want to look at the lawsuit itself, click on the link. It will be available to you. A company-wide email that Robert Kotick, CEO of Activision Blizzard, penned in response to the recently filed lawsuit against the company by the state of California has been released online. Kotick acknowledges that the company's initial response for comment when the lawsuit was first made public was, quote, tone-deaf, and that the company will be taking steps to proactively address employee concerns. The response came just hours ahead of a planned worker strike taking place July 28th at Blizzard's Irvine campus. Activision Blizzard has recently seen its fair share of controversy in recent years, but a 2-year investigation by California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing unearthed a culture of active misogyny against the company's female employees. Women who worked within Activision Blizzard were allegedly subjected to sexual harassment and assault, wage disparity, inappropriate and unprofessional behavior, and denial of promotions or privileges on the basis of gender. The investigation resulted in a lawsuit filed by the DFEH against Activision Blizzard and catapulted the company's culture into the public eye. While some management at the company have denied the allegations, many Activision Blizzard employees have come out in staunch support of the lawsuit. Now, I'm not taking one side or the other in this case. I don't believe either the CEO, the executives, or the workers right now. I believe the facts, and the facts show that any of these allegations are true. Like I stated earlier, it was a clusterfuck just waiting to happen at this point. It was basically a volcano boiling below the surface, and now is all of a sudden erupted onto the surface. So, here it is. These are the allegations. Now, to be fair, in regards, play devil's advocate to the executives, sometimes you have situations where a lot of these accusations of misogyny and so forth, it's almost become watered down in this sociopolitical environment we have because, like with accusations of racism and sexism, it's lost its meaning. So, like I said, to be fair to them, however, like I said, I'm not believing really either side right now. Granted, from what I've heard, and from a video I just did about Blizzard itself, I'm more inclined to believe the allegations right now, but until concrete facts emerge, I'm not making any stance one way or the other. But that's what the lawsuit is alleging. Kotick's correspondence isn't the first response to be sent out to employees by upper management. Blizzard President J. Allen Brack and Activision Blizzard executive Fran Townsend sent out a company-wide emails shortly after the lawsuit was made public, emails that were published to Twitter by Jason Schreier, who is a bitch boy, I'm just going to add that, a reporter for Bloomberg. But the response that management has provided its employees thus far has been somewhat contradictory, either denying the allegations or commenting on how the company is working to improve the culture unearthed and outlined in the investigation and lawsuit. So which is it? Which is it at this point? Kotick, for his part, called the initial response tone-deaf. He stated in his own email, which can be read in full on Business Wire, that proactive steps have been taken, including hiring an independent law firm to audit and review Activision Blizzard's policies and procedures. As long as it's truly independent, then I'm all for it. So, Kotick said, "Our initial responses to the issue we faced together and to your concerns were, quite frankly, tone-deaf," he announced. Law firm Wilmer Hale will be conducting a review of Activision Blizzard's policies and procedures to ensure it maintains best practices to promote a respectful and inclusive workplace. And he laid out 5 action items aimed at implementing long-lasting change. And here are the 5 items: employee support, listening sessions, personnel changes, hiring practices, in-game changes. So those are the 5 steps he outlined. Fish rots from the head. Fish rots from the head. Now, I'm not accusing him necessarily of turning a blind eye, but at the same time, if any of this is at all factual, the accusations I should say, then a lot of the changes should be the higher-ups. Should be the higher-ups, because a lot of policies and procedures trickle down to employees. And the employees, all they can do is implement them. Now, again, it's very likely that both sides are equally guilty to one degree or the other. But at the same time, if you're going to announce personnel changes, then you, in my opinion, you start at the top. You start at the top because that's where it all originates. So an update. Ahead of the planned July 28th walkout, Activision Blizzard employees have responded to the CEO's remarks about the allegations in the California lawsuit the company faces. Axios' Megan Farak-Manesh shared the organizers' message on Twitter. So here is her tweet, and here is the organizers' message, right here. On the evening before our employee walkout, Activision Blizzard leadership released a statement apologizing for their harmful responses to last week's lawsuit. While we are pleased to see that our collective voices, including an open letter with thousands of signatures from current employees, have convinced leadership to change the tone of their communications, this response fails to address critical elements at the heart of employee concerns, and those include the end of forced arbitration for all employees, worker participation and oversight of hiring and promotion policies, the need for greater pay transparency to ensure equality, employee selection of a third party to audit HR and other company processes. Basically saying, we don't exactly trust that you'll hire truly an independent law firm, so we'd like to have a say in it. Today's walkout will demonstrate that this is not a one-time event that our leaders can ignore. We will not return to silence. We will not be placated by the same processes that led us to this point. This is the beginning of an enduring movement in favor of better labor conditions for all employees, especially women, in particular women of color and transgender women, non-binary people, and other marginalized groups. This is where whatever seeds of doubt I have lie. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. I'm not taking either side. I believe concrete facts. I don't automatically believe a certain side because of my political leanings, my not moral compass, but essentially that. Essentially, like how I have my worldview, essentially. I believe facts, and if there's at all, in any way, hard evidence, then yes. Then yes, these employees' demands should be met. But an active role should be taken for personnel changes beginning with the executive level and start implementing new policies and procedures. But then when you have wording like this, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Is it actually happening, or is it happening to the degree they're claiming? It might not even be happening to the degree they're claiming, but I don't know. I really don't know. A lot that's come out lends plausibility to it, but not proof. So there's that. That's the response, and that's my own humble opinion of the situation. The timing of the Activision Blizzard CEO statements is likely to raise some eyebrows, as Kotick has up until now remained silent on the goings-on, even though the lawsuit was filed nearly a week ago, and his response came quickly after the announcement workers at the Blizzard Irvine office would be staging a walkout. Over 1,000 employees have signed an open letter demanding change and accountability since the information in the lawsuit went public. Hiring an independent law firm to oversee the company's policy is a start, but for many of the victims of Activision Blizzard's alleged long-standing, quote, frat boy culture, it may feel like too little, too late. So, there is the Screen Rant article, there's a situation, the walkout plans, the CEO's response, all one big clusterfuck. Basically one big clusterfuck. And I'm very curious to see how far the support for Activision goes in particular. Blizzard is already essentially losing support among the gaming community. However, Activision still has a fair amount of popularity still left, especially with the amount of players still playing Call of Duty and so forth. So, it is yet to be seen how much of an impact all this will have within the gaming community. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Do you believe the workers and like the allegations in the situation? Do you disbelieve them? Are you like me? You're on the fence. You want to see hard, concrete facts. Let me know all that down in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Share on social media if you will. This is Mara Jade. Catch you on the dark side. And cluster fuck.